What's up, guys? Welcome to this dumpster fire of a channel where we look at brand new indie titles, because some are good and some are bad, and that's what we want to find out. Today we're looking at Winkeltje, which I do believe is what it's called, but I'm going to go and call it by its English name, Shop, since that is actually how it's pronounced in Dutch. This game was released February 19th and is only $10. It's defined as a simulation building capitalist game. Still in early access, apparently, so there's more to come with it. Now into the good stuff. To be honest, I'm more addicted to this game than what Whitney Houston was to cocaine. This game right now is a lot of fun to me, and I can't stop playing it. It starts off to where you're inheriting it from your father, and you end up with a very small one. I think it's like 3 by 5. And of course, you'll start off, you'll learn things, you'll end up getting small inventory at first. And graphically wise, I don't know if they're going to update it, but I like the quaintness of it. It's a very simple graphic style, but it works for this type of game. And the interface of it is actually quite simple and very straightforward. It's not very complicated like your other types of building or simulation games. On top of that, creating and expanding the store actually feels really gratifying. Once you start understanding and how to build up the store, to manage it, to sell the product, and actually start to craft the product, you start to get the sense of accomplishment and wanting to continue. I think that's why I keep going and going. It's the perfect metaphor for the ass stomping of communism that capitalism is. Speaking of crafting, there's 3 currently right now in the game: blacksmith, tailor, and planters. And of course, those all go with what you would think. A blacksmith would make hammers, axes, and pitchforks, and there's probably a few more that I haven't reached yet. You've got your tailor, which will make your pants, shirts, shoes, dresses, and then the planters, which would consist of you collecting seeds, planting them so you can sustain a food type thing to sell in your store. With the crafting of the tailor and the blacksmith, you actually start to gain experience over time of crafting them to where your product would actually start to sell more. You get better at doing it, and you can start to make more money, which becomes more profitable. And I think that right there is a great way of leveling up and making more money instead of doing the same monotony over and over again without any new outcome. Once you start getting the hang of things, you can actually then start to use your capital to expand your business and go into shop building mode. It's right now a little clunky, I would guess. I wouldn't even say clunky. Its interface is a little interesting and a little weird. I wish it was more streamlined, but it's still very simple to use. You can start to get the gist of it once you play around with it for just about 5 minutes. And you can make it in many ways you want. You can have a standard box like I usually tend to do because I'm unimaginative, but you can have all these different walls in place. You can have sections off. You can put sections into it like it's like a store of food and clothes, and you really can allow your imagination to run. While building your shop up and leveling up, you're also unlocking extra containers and stuff like that to hold all of your product. And some of these right now, they're kind of limited, but they're very nice. You've got your painted, you've got your adorned, and everything like that. You also start to expand storage, which is done by pallets. That's where you're restrained and trying to learn what your limitations and how much you can set out and the maximum of what you can hold, which gives it a little bit of challenge on its own, especially when you start running low on inventory. And speaking of challenge, I almost actually forgot, there are random events and seasons that'll go on. So when you start to get towards summer, winter, maybe there's a dip in the economy and everything like that, when sellers come up to buy, or for you to buy, you actually start to realize that percentages will be higher. So if you don't want to buy it because you'll lose profit from actually doing it, but you'll also upset the customers at that time since you don't have what they want. It becomes a nice back and forth charade of you trying to keep up with it, and I think that's where the crafting is really coming in, to try to hold off during those tough portions of the economy, or a war, or maybe it's wintertime and grain is low. It makes it a little bit more complicated, but not too demanding. I think it's actually kind of light right now, and I feel like it would be better if maybe it progressively got harder, or it was a little bit more difficult during those times. Right now, I can't really see any difference. Now to a few negatives, which I can't really say much because, again, it's still in early access. as of right now at least, not the inventory, but the containers and the shelving that you can actually buy seems a little less. I feel like there could have been more. Also, with the shop building, there's only like 3 different types of tiles. There's a few walls and stuff like that. But I can't really say that's a negative right now because it's still in early access. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more of those to come to where everybody can make their shops look a whole lot more unique. On top of glitches, honestly, I've only seen one glitch so far to where when customers are exiting out of the shop, some will get caught on the tables, some will get caught at the door, and you have to save and quit and reload, and you're just back to that same point, and nothing's really gone, lost, or changed. So there's not much to really worry, just a mild nuisance and everything. So all in all, I mean, by the verdict, I'd actually give this game a thumbs up. If you're into simulations and economy-based type games, but want to be on the light side, you don't want like a heavy dose of it at the time being, this is definitely a game that you'd want to pick up, especially for $10, and in early access, you know you're going to continuously get some new features. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'm going to leave a link down in the description for it. Show this indie developer some love, because whoever developed this, which I think was big, hold on, let me check, SassyBot. Props to you, SassyBot. This game, being in early access, already feels like what could possibly have already been a full game. And I think he or she needs to get a little bit of love for this. So everybody check it out down below. It's $10. I mean, if you don't have it, you don't have it. But I mean, $10, you're getting a pretty good game like this. And I know City Skylines and stuff like that's a little expensive. And this will be a little side game that you could play for it. But like, subscribe, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.